There was a man named Bhola who lived in a village. He sold coconut water on the streets every day to make his ends meet.
Take fresh coconut. Take fresh coconut water. It's good for your health.
A few days later, he built a business just across from the railway station. People who came for morning or evening walk would buy a coconut from him. Bhola was naturally a pleasant guy. He was always eager to help others in need. He came across Ramu, who used to sell toys. Ramu seemed to be very hungry as well as tired.
Hello, Ramu. You look so exhausted and hungry. Take this coconut water.
But I'm short on cash.
Haha, when did I ask for money? Take it. When my toys are sold, I will return all your money.
Saying this, Ramu begins drinking coconut water from that day on. Ramu visits Bhola's shop and begins drinking coconut water daily. Ramu came to Bhola's shop one day like this and he saw,
Hey, where did Bhola uncle go today?
Ramu quietly walks away from there. The next day, Ramu returns to Bhola's shop, but it was still closed.
Hey, Bhola uncle has not even come today. What would have happened? I should go and see.
Ramu came searching for Bhola uncle by asking people for his address. Ramu notices Bhola uncle sleeping with a thin blanket.
Uncle, what happened to you? You appear frail and your business was closed for 2 or 3 days. So I came to see you.
Son, my health is not that good.
Are you alone in the house? Is there no one to take care of you?
No one.
Don't panic, Bhola uncle. I will bring the doctor now.
Ramu flees the house. He recalls something as soon as he steps outside the home. Ramu comes to a halt. There was a large coconut tree nearby.
Hey, I don't have any money. What will I give to the doctor? Now how I am going to help Bhola uncle?
Ramu gets very disappointed thinking about this. And then suddenly,
Don't worry, dear. I will help you out.
Hey, magical tree. Will you please help me?
Yes, sure. Why not? Say, what do you want?
Hey, magical tree. I don't want anything. Just heal my Bhola uncle. He is very ill and I don't have even money to give it to the doctor.
I can fulfill any one of your wishes.
Means?
Either I can give you a lot of money or I can cure your Bhola uncle. Tell me, what do you want?
Just cure my Bhola uncle, please.
Well, take this coconut water and feed him. He will be fine.
Ramu thanks the tree and goes back to Bhola's house. Bhola gets well after drinking the coconut water given by the magic tree.
Hey, this coconut water is amazing. Where did you get it from?
Ramu shows that coconut tree to Bhola from his window.
Ramu, has its magic ended?
Maybe.
There lived a lady named Mary in a village called Nibley. She had 2 daughters. One was named Jennifer and the other was Susan. When Jennifer was young, her mother died and so her father Robin married again. But he too died after a few years because of illness, and that is why Jennifer was unable to love her mother and sister. Susan and Jennifer used to fight often. Both the sisters never talked to each other softly. Mary was very worried seeing all this. One day,
Susan and Jennifer, come and have your meal. Yes, Mom, coming.
Yes, Mom, I'm also coming.
saying this, both the daughters came there and saw that their mother had prepared dessert for them. That day, both Susan and Jennifer were very happy.
Mom, did you make this dessert for me? I like it a lot.
I know that both of my daughters love dessert. That is the reason why I made this dessert for both of you. What about me, Mom? Yes, dear, I have made it for you too. Now have it quickly. Both of you have to go to the college, isn't it? Sure. Mom, may I take this bowl? I have to reach college early.
Yes, take it. And Susan, you take this bowl. Sure, Mom.
Both of them eat dessert and seeing each other angrily leave the house. Both of them studied in college together. The only difference was that Jennifer was in third year and Susan was in first year. They were 2 years older and younger, but even then, they often had little fights as if both of them were enemies to each other. One day,
Sister, we are going for a trip from college. Are you also going?
Yes, ours is also going. But I don't want to go.
Why so, sister?
Because you will be there.
I also don't want to come with you. I asked just for the sake of asking. I'm going.
Susan and Jennifer leave the place turning away from each other. The next day, both of them go to college. Then their teacher asks them, Jennifer, are you coming for the college trip?
Yes, sir. I'm coming.
Okay, I will write your name.
Sure, sir.
Saying this, teacher makes a list of the girls going on the trip. After coming home, Susan and Jennifer told these things to their mother.
Susan, Jennifer, both of you are going on the trip. But do not fight there. Otherwise, there is no need to go on the trip.
No, mother. We will not fight.
Yes, Mom, we will not fight. Okay then, both of you can go. Here is the money for the trip and keep the rest of the money with you. Mom, we will go tomorrow and come back after 2 days. Okay, let's go to sleep now. Tomorrow both of you have to go.
And all of them go to sleep after having dinner. The next day, both of them go on the trip by boarding their respective buses, and Mary gets busy with her daily routine. After some time, Mary receives a call from Jennifer.
Mom, both of us have reached the place of the trip.
Okay, dear. Are both of you fine?
Yes, Mom. I got to go now. We have to visit different spots here.
Okay. Whenever you get time, call me.
Sure, Mom.
Take care of yourself and Susan.
Yes, Mom.
After hanging up the phone, Jennifer and her classmates go to visit a place. Susan also goes with her class to visit another place. Children come back after roaming about. Jennifer looks for Susan, but she couldn't find her. So Jennifer starts worrying about her.
Oh, where is Susan? I can't find her. Where shall I look for her?
Then Jennifer saw Susan and she feels relaxed.
Susan, where were you? I was so worried for you.
Hey, I was here with my friends. I'm fine.
Saying this, Susan goes from there. The next day, children wake up early and get ready fast. They all set out for the hill. They were supposed to roam about that day and leave by the evening. All the students go to visit a hill station. They enjoy the environment of the hill until evening. But Susan goes to a secluded place without telling anybody. While enjoying the classic view of that place, she slipped and she fell from there. All the students start gathering to go back because evening was setting in. And here Susan was hanging with the help of the branch of a tree. Jennifer looked for her sister among the students, but she couldn't find her. While looking for Susan, Jennifer came to that hill point and she called her.
Susan, where are you?
Sister, I'm here. Please help me. I'm here.
Following Susan's voice, Jennifer finds that Susan is hanging by the hill. Jennifer got nervous seeing all this. She gathered her strength and pulled her up.
Why did you come here? If something would have happened to you, what would I do? What would I have told Mom?
Sister, I slipped and fell. I called a lot, but no one heard me. You came here looking for me and saved me. You are the best sister in the world.
Yeah. Susan, come, or we will be late for home. Bus will leave.
While pulling Susan up, Jennifer had injured her arms. So Susan tore her stole and covered them. And now they went near the bus. What happened, Jennifer? Your arm is bleeding.
It's nothing, sir. I fell there. Now I'm fine.
Teacher and all the students set off to go home. After coming home, Jennifer told everything to her mother. Hearing all this, Mary started crying and hugged both of them.
Since both of you hang out together, I never feel worried about you. But my dear daughters, take care of yourself.
After that day, both the stepsisters ended all the little fights and lived happily like real sisters. Friends, we learn from this story that we should not feel jealous of each other and live with love.
In a town named Houghton, there lived a woman named Shelley. She had a son whose name was Samuel. Samuel was a very decent boy. He used to work in a well-known organization. One day, Samuel went to a flower shop to buy a bouquet for an office function. So, to buy a bouquet, he goes to a flower shop where he had already picked a bouquet. When suddenly he sees a girl standing in front of him and asking, "Sir, if you have chosen this bouquet, shall I pack this?"
Yes, pack this one. How much for it?
300 rupees, sir.
Here is your money. So, what's your name?
My name is Ruby. I sell flowers to make a living. After this conversation, Samuel left for office. But he kept thinking about Ruby. He was confused why he was getting all these feelings. One day, Samuel came to Ruby's flower shop and he sees Ruby. He bought a flower and gave it to her, and then Samuel to Ruby.
Ruby, I like you a lot. Will you marry me?
Sir, I am not an ideal match for you. You are rich and I am poor. How is it possible?
I don't believe in such things. That is why I want to marry you.
But will your family accept me as their daughter-in-law?
My mother will not. But if we get married before she knows, then she will.
Is it so?
Yes.
Then I am ready to marry you. After hearing this, Samuel decided to get married by the next month. During this time, Ruby and Samuel took time to understand each other and they started liking each other. After hearing this, Samuel decided to get married by the next month. During this time, Ruby and Samuel took time to understand each other and they started liking each other. After that, they got married in a temple. And after getting married according to his promise, Samuel took Ruby to his house. Seeing Samuel, his mother got very happy. But seeing a girl with him, she asked him, "Samuel, who is this girl with you?"
Mom, this is Ruby. We got married. She's your daughter-in-law now.
What are you saying, Samuel? I have found so many suitable matches for you. And you got married to this poor girl?
Mom, please don't say anything to her. I have married her with my own wish and I don't care about social status. All that matters to me is the person, not their social status.
Listening this, Shelley said, "Okay, if you say so, I will accept her as my daughter-in-law. But she will have to learn our manners and etiquettes." "I will learn, Mom." After saying this, Samuel and Ruby go to their room. And the next day, Ruby goes to the kitchen and prepares delicious food for them and does all the household chores. But her mother-in-law, Shelley, was not liking it as they got married against her will. So one day, Shelley to Ruby, "Hey Ruby, make some tea for me." "Sure, Mom, getting it." After that, Ruby prepares tea for Shelley, but it takes a little longer. So Shelley to Ruby, "Ruby, are you making tea or some kind of dessert?" "No, Mom. Here it is. I got it." Shelley then has a sip of tea. After having the tea, Shelley likes it so much, but just with an intention to humiliate Ruby, she said, "Ruby, learn how to make tea properly. It doesn't taste good at all." "Mom, shall I bring another cup of tea for you?" "No, leave it. Don't do like this. By making tea twice, you will only waste my son's money." Ruby doesn't say anything, and after some time, Ruby leaves to do other household chores. That day, Shelley had piled up lots of clothes for Ruby to wash and then, Ruby, listen, here are some clothes, go wash them." After coming there, Ruby sees a pile of clothes. Seeing that, Ruby says to her mother-in-law, "Okay, Mom, I will wash them. You don't worry." Saying so, Ruby finishes other household chores and washes 3 buckets clothes, and to dry them, she takes them on the terrace. After some time, when Ruby comes back from the terrace, she sees her mother-in-law has come back from the garden and haven't cleaned her feet and kept roaming in the house with dirty feet. Seeing this, Ruby understands her mother-in-law's motive and Shelley says, "See, Ruby, how soiled the house looks. Go, clean it quickly." "Okay, Mom,
I will clean it in a while. Saying so, Ruby cleans the house, and to serve food, she comes to the kitchen to warm the food and serve it to everyone. She quickly warms all the food, and then everyone sits to have food. Ruby serves everybody's plate. That's when Samuel says to Ruby,
Ruby, the food tastes really good.
Hearing this, Ruby smiles, but Shelley was not at all happy. Thinking something in her mind, she eats the food and goes to sleep in her own room. The next day, while Ruby was cooking, suddenly she remembers some other work and leaves the kitchen. That's when Shelley comes to the kitchen and adds lot of chili powder in the food and lots of salt in the other dishes she had prepared. After doing this, Shelley goes and sits in the hall. After some time, Shelley says to Ruby, Ruby, haven't you cooked anything today?
Yes, Mom, I did. Let me serve it to you.
No, not now. Let Samuel come, then we will all eat together.
Okay, Mom, I'll finish some other works by then.
Okay. Saying so, Shelley kept reading newspaper in the hall, and then Samuel comes home. Seeing him, Ruby says,
Hey, here you are. Mom was waiting for you to have meal together.
You go and serve. I'm coming in a while.
Saying so, Samuel goes to freshen up. Then Ruby warms the food and sets the table and serves it. She gets everything ready. Then Ruby calls her mother-in-law.
Mom, come. I have served the food.
Yes, coming. Saying so, Shelley smiles and comes to the table to have the meal. Samuel also joins her and both of them sit to eat together. Then Shelley takes one bite of the food and she finds it very spicy and spits it out there. Yuck, yuck, yuck. You idiot. Do you want to kill me or what?
What happened, Mom?
What have you mixed in the food? It's so spicy. I can't even eat this.
Mom, why are you saying so? Ruby cooks so well.
You taste it yourself and then say.
Samuel takes a bite and spits it out in a second. And then he says to Ruby,
Ruby, how have you cooked today? How could you add so much salt and chili powder in the food?
I don't know how it happened. I added salt and chili in proper amount.
Ruby, don't make such mistakes from the next time. If you will do so, Mom will become angry on you.
Yes, I will remember next time.
Okay, throw this food away and prepare something new. I'm waiting outside.
Okay, I'm preparing.
Saying so, Ruby goes to the kitchen to cook something new. But she thinks in her mind,
how all this happened? I had added salt and chili powder in the proper amount. How did that happen then?
Then Ruby quickly prepares the meal and calls them after setting the table. And then they sit down to have food. Ruby felt very happy after seeing them eat peacefully. Then Ruby said to Samuel,
Hey, thank you so much for understanding me and giving me another chance.
How could we not come? Otherwise, we had to sleep hungry all night.
Can this ever happen that I could let you sleep hungry?
Okay, I'm going to sleep. You finish your work and come.
Okay, I'm coming after finishing my work.
Saying this, Ruby goes back to finish other household chores and Samuel goes to sleep. And Shelley also goes to sleep and she feels very happy. She starts thinking, I have taught a lesson to that Ruby today. Saying this, Shelley sleeps happily that night. The next day when Shelley was sitting in the hall, a distant relative Irene comes to their house.
Is somebody in the house?
Irene, please come. So what made you come here today?
I have come bearing a good news for you. I have found a suitable match for your son. They are very rich and you will get lots of dowry also.
It's of no use now.
What happened? Why are you talking like this?
My son got married without telling me. Now it's of no use.
Listen, Shelley. If you will send your daughter-in-law away, you can get lots of money. And your son's future will also get secured.
Yes, you are right. I have to do something.
Okay, I have to go now.
Saying this, Irene leaves. And Shelley keeps thinking about it in her mind. That's when Ruby goes to the terrace to dry clothes. And Shelley thinks to herself and says to herself, if I push Ruby from the terrace, no one will get to know about it. And no one will ever doubt on me also. Thinking so, Shelley goes to the terrace where Ruby was hanging clothes to dry. That's when Shelley tries to push her from the terrace, But Ruby goes in the other direction. As Shelly was coming in a hurry, she stumbles and falls on the terrace and she gets injured. Then Ruby goes to her and says, "Mom, how did you fall? Give me your hand and try to get up." Shelly was in great pain. She gave her hand to Ruby. With the help of the neighbors, Ruby brought her mother-in-law to the hospital for treatment. Her hands and legs were fractured and was tied with plaster and bandage. That's when Shelly thinks on her own, "My daughter-in-law is so kind. Despite of my bad behavior towards her, she is taking care of me. I was wrong about her. I had misunderstood her." Then Shelly says to Samuel, "Samuel, my daughter-in-law's heart is pure gold. How I could have survived without her today." "Mom, don't say like that."
Mom, you take rest. We can continue this conversation later.
"No, son. I have to say this, Samuel. I have always misunderstood her. But I was wrong. My daughter-in-law is very nice and obeys to whatever I say and never complains about it." While talking about this, Shelly starts crying and Ruby wipes her tears. "Mom, don't cry. Take some rest. I'm here only, okay?" After some days, Shelly comes back home and Ruby took good care of her. Shelly made peace with Ruby. Seeing this, Samuel was also happy.